And it's always humored me in over 30 years of ministry how people use that kind of sappy spirituality language about waiting. Let's just wait and pray about it, to cover up their disobedience, their unwillingness to go forward. Be leery of any theology that is tempting to stay where you are. Good theology is always forward. Scripture says our God is a God that is making all things new. That means all the new things that God is making is out there in front of us. And if you're just wanting to stay put, pray about it, you're going to miss out on what God's doing in the future. And we can try to mask it in all this kind of spiritual jargon. You ever seen the bumper sticker, let go, let God? Or the t-shirt, let go, let God? Doesn't that sound real spiritual? It's terrible theology, though. Sounds good, just bad theology. That saying, let go, let God, was part of what's called the Keswick movement back in the early 1960s. And it's really kind of goes through cycles. It'll catch back on every once in a while. You'll see that bumper sticker, let go and let God. Sounds really good. It's not good theology, though. Good theology is trust God and get going. That's good theology. Trust God and get going. The people of God are always called to move forward in faith, to move forward expectantly, that it's only as we embrace this unknown future, it's only as we embrace the tension of knowing and not knowing, the now and the not yet, that we really portray ourselves as a people of God on a mission going forward. Our future is always out there. Transitioning is God's way of moving us along. Trust God and get going. The French general was asked in World War I his opinion of which side he thought would win. I thought his answer was very profound. He said the side that advances, the side that goes forward, the side that is on the offensive and not couched down and entrenched defensively in fear, the side that advances. It's true in churches, it's true in organizations, it's true in business, it's true in athletics. Any team or any organization, any church that's going to be successful, that is going to experience victory and success, it does it as it has an eye for the future. I was reading in a business journal recently, there were some interesting statistics. It said out of the 20 largest companies 40 years ago in this company, out of the 20 largest companies in this country 40 years ago, only two out of 40 are still in the top 20 today. All right, let's take a smaller time frame and a bigger sample group. The statistics reveal that over the past 25 years, what has happened over the past 25 years is that out of the 100 largest companies in the U.S., in the past 25 years, only half of them even exist today. It's true in business, it's true in church. The strategies that get us to where we are today are not the strategies that will get us into the future. Good theology always propels you forward. It always propels you forward, never backwards. The purposes of God are always fulfilled in the future, not in the past. When Frank Howard was the late Frank Howard, former coach at Clemson University, football coach, and this was back in an era when most of your athletic directors were former head football coaches, and Frank Howard eventually became the athletic director of athletics for Clemson University. And about the time that Frank Howard became director of athletics is when Title IX came on the scene. And Title IX really changed the dynamics of NCAA athletics because it required every university to have the same number of scholarships for female student athletes as they had for male student athletes. And so universities, you had a certain time frame to get this accomplished, and you had to do it by a certain time to avoid a penalty. And so universities were scrambling. They were dropping male sports to add female sports to get this balance between female scholarships and male scholarships. Well, somebody went to Frank Howard and said, Frank, we've come up with a strategy. An athletic committee said, Frank, we've got an idea about adding a female crewing team. Crewing team is made up of 15 members. This will add 15 female scholarships to our ratio. And Frank Howard was sitting there perplexed, and he said, crewing? He said, no, what's crewing? And they said, well, Coach, crewing, rowing, it's rowing a boat. He said, rowing a boat? He said, we ain't gonna have no sport at Clemson where you sit down and go backwards. It's always about forward. Church, business, every organization that has a cause is successful in the future only as they are driven to the future. The strategies that get us to where we are today will not take us into the future that God has in store for us. So it's true in life as we come up against these transitions in life, as God is moving us to the other side of a river, to another place other than where we are right now. We have to be convinced that it's a part of His purposes.